Hello everybody and welcome to my fight kiln guide. In this video I will be showing wave 37 where you fight Harken. I will first cover information that I know about Harken. Firstly, he has tentacles that spawn around the arena. Their weakness follows the combat triangle. There are two types of tentacles. There are ranged tentacles and mage tentacles. Mage tentacles are weak to range attacks and ranged tentacles are weak to melee attacks. Both types of tentacles have a chance to melee you if you're within 2 squares of them. In this wave, your main objective is to kill Harken. He's the giant head that surfaces every 72 seconds. From what I know, the tentacles do not affect how fast the head comes up, so you're not required to kill the tentacles at all. The head can surface on the west, south, or east walls, but not to the north. So standing in the middle of the south wall will allow you to view all possible spawn locations of the head, but this will also make you within attack range of many tentacles. The head has decent range and melee defense, but very bad magic defense, so you can be in full melee gear and still hit constantly with mage. Now, when Harken's head pops up, look for a corner with the least amount of tentacles that can harm you. For example, in this clip, to the northeast there is a ranged tentacle and a mage tentacle. To the southwest there is one ranged tentacles, so the best choice would be to run to the southwest corner, pray range, and attack the head. From here the north tentacles cannot attack you. Now during the 45 seconds Harken's head is submerged, it is advised to find a corner on the map with the least tentacles that can harm you. Here in the southeast corner there's only one mage tentacle. So looking at the map, there are no other yellow dots around, so stand here, pray magic, and look at the map. So right here, a ranged tentacle showed up. Kill it quickly with melee and continue praying mage. Now a thing to note is if you're not counting the 45 seconds, you can count the attacks from the tentacles. In the 45 seconds, a single tentacle will have attacked you about 18 times. So once you've count 18 attacks from a tentacle, run to the middle of the south wall and get ready to look for a spawn. Now if there are multiple tentacles attacking you, you only count one of them. When there are no tentacles attacking you, you will have to count by yourself in your head, or use a timer. Now here I see the head to the west. First thing you should do is attack the head and then look at the tentacles around it. Now I see to the northwest there are only ranged tentacles, so by moving there I will be relatively safe by praying range and attacking the head. Now here I didn't count the 45 seconds in the video, so the tentacles will be beneficial. Now that the head is down, it is time to find a safe corner without many tentacles. In the video, in the northwest corner, I'm only being attacked by rangers, so it is relatively safe by praying range. The head has a cycle of about 72 seconds. The head will be up for about 27 seconds and will submerge for 45 seconds. Now if you have been counting how many times the northwest tentacle have been attacking me, it will have been about 18 attacks. So now it's time to move to the middle of the south wall and look for the head. And now you can see to the west that Harken's head has shown up. So mage it, look for a corner with the least harmful tentacles, and mage it from there. Now you can get about 8 or 9 hits off with the polypore staff, but here I didn't have my polypore staff on, so I missed a few seconds. Now you can see here, even though I'm in full melee gear, I'm still able to hit consistently with magic. Now it's possible to have no tentacles in sight attacking you, like in the clip. Usually this doesn't last too long, so during this time you could choose to rest. This will act as a rapid heal. But don't forget to start counting your 45 seconds. Now a mage tentacle shows up as well as a ranged tentacle. So first thing off, you would want to melee the ranged tentacle, but be aware that this will bring you in range of other tentacles. So in the clip, I get attacked by 2 other tentacles to the east. So now there are 2 mage tentacles on me as well as 2 ranged tentacles. So this can be pretty dangerous if you're low on food. You can choose to either kill the ranged tentacle quick or run around and look for a better spot, which usually is not the case. It's better to kill it off quickly and then hide in the northwest corner. Now here, the head shows up on the west side. Now there's a mage tentacle to the northwest and another to the southwest. Now, praying magic, you're still pretty safe, but you still want to choose a corner in case another one shows up. Remember to stay away from melee distance from the tentacles, as they still do hit with melee. If you have a healing familiar out, remember to use it regularly. Now here, third Mage Tentacle spawned to the north, so I chose to put on D-High to have higher mage defense so that they would hit less through my prayer. But keep a lookout for a ranged tentacle because you'll have low range defense on. Here the Mage Tentacles mage me for a while, then the western one seems to go away. So I guess you don't have to kill them to get rid of them. Now if you're just standing around with only one style of tentacle on you, either wear your polypore staff so you're ready when the head pops up, or wear a god sword if you have it for its prayer bonus. So if you have been counting the attacks, it is just about time for the head to show up. So it's time to roam the area and look for the head. In the video, the head shows up to the east, but I don't get to see the animation of it coming up, so I've probably just missed about just a few seconds. So the basic steps to follow is find the head, find the safe corner, attack, then hide till it shows up again. So now we have covered most of the tactics you would use during the kill. So now I'm going to talk about the crystals. If you have a magic crystal, experienced players could use their magic crystal here to help speed up the kill, but this will lower your defense, making you consume more food. So this is not advised if you're running low on supplies. And this is only good if you are good with timing the head spawns. Now if you have any invulnerability crystals, you can use it whenever you want. It probably won't help too much, but it would help when you have multiple tentacles attacking you. But do note that you can only have one crystal active at a time. So if you have a magic crystal or constitution crystal active, you will not be able to use this crystal until that crystal has been done. Restoration crystals are also very good for healing instantly, but you could only have one crystal active at a time. So if you have a different crystal active, it won't be able to help you if you need emergency healing. Constitution crystals should be used when you need to start healing. If you have a familiar out at the beginning of the wave, use the Constitution crystal and start healing. The Constitution crystal works with brews as well as healing scrolls. If you are on normal prayers and have an excess amount of restores, you can choose to use rapid heal or rapid renewal. Remember to look at your familiar. See if its timer is low. The boss kill usually takes around 10-20 minutes for people on their first time, but if you know what to do, it can take about 10 minutes, which is how long it took me for this, with a good amount of error. And that is all the information I have on the boss. If I'm missing anything or new information comes up, I'll write it down in the description with an edit. Now, I had really fun making this guide. Using the gear I had with the familiar restrictions was fun. But I think this update was a little too hyped up, where they said that you would need overload, curses, potion flask, mega food, and top end gear. So this guide uses no overload, no curses. I used potion flask, but I could have done it without it given I'm allowed to use the tortoise. Mega food, yes, I did use it. Brews are considered mega food, I guess. Top end gear, I would say no. I've done this in, what is it, Dragon Med, Granite Body, Obby Shield, Dragon Skirt, D Boots. I used the Toko Ring, which I don't know why they put it into the game. It's +4 every stat, which kind of makes Dagannoth rings kind of useless for Seer's Ring, Archer's Ring, and Warrior's, assuming you don't imbue it. And seeing how it's free, you get it for free after the quest. Although, if you lose it, you probably have to pay 50k tokens for a new one. So the other gear, I used a normal whip, and Amulet of Glory, Obsidian Cape, Black D'hide, that's fairly cheap. Polypore Staff, that's like a mil or something. And borrowed Saradomin Godsword, which can easily be done at the Grand Exchange. Just pay a couple 100k for a few hours, get it easy, and it really helps out for doing fight kill. Because the HP you save is amazing. Although Enhanced Excalibur is probably better if you have the task unlocked for it. And I used a Carol's crossbow. I could have done broad bolts with a rune crossbow, but that would have been a little slower. So in total, just all this gear, potions added together, it costs us around 4 mil or so, which most people can't afford. Although you can swap out some gear with better stuff. You don't have to use what I used. I think most people could afford this kind of gear. If you ever try to go for quick bike kilns, just for maybe the Onyx or just to see how fast you can do it, it's probably advised that you either go on normal prayers with a unicorn or use a steel titan with turmoil. Now I hope this guide has been helpful. The gear I use are all buyable. There's no requirements for any of them besides the level requirements to use the weapon itself. The potions are all tradable and the summoning is the only requirement. You can do it with a terror bird, which is fairly low summoning level, with flask, or you could do it with a tortoise with no flask. If you want to make sure you get it, I suggest spending the money on flask because it takes a few hours to get there. And if you mess up, you're low on food, that extra bruise in the flask will help a lot. Thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.